say, but part of this place looks like the theme park that time forgot. So, if you want to scoot over, I'll take things from here for a while.
Actually, Lucy, I was about to say...
Scoot, scoot. Okay, first things first. I know how I feel about the park, but let's see how one of the other guests is feeling. Go on, select one of the guests to see how happy they are. Okay, now that level of happiness might be good enough for most parks, but I still think this guest would be a bit happier if a big chunk of the park wasn't super lame. Don't worry, it's not your fault. That one's on Mr. Thompson.
I hardly think that's fair.
Don't worry, I've highlighted the problem area. So go on, stick down some scenery. Make it look all piratey. Oh yeah, us guests love having interesting things to look at. Cheers us right up.
Oh, that is a bit nicer.
I don't believe I said unscoot yet, did I? So, another place it's super important to put scenery is around the ride queues. Ooh, you know what? We should compare both of your rides so we can see the difference. Go and select that first ride you opened, would ya? You see how it's got a high queue scenery rating? Because of that, the ride's prestige is higher too. Us guests are way less interested in rides with boring queues, and so we won't pay as much to ride them. Right, now go and have a look at that new ride you built. Okay, so that's not nearly as prestigious as it could be, but you can fix that by giving us guests some eye candy to look at while we wait. Go on, stick some nice scenery down around the queue.
Gaban Badan Hobawan.
Come on, admit it. Isn't that better? And if you check, I bet you'll see that the ride's Q scenery rating and prestige has gone up as a result.
Excellent. That means we can also raise the ticket price. Go on, put it up by a few dollars.
Ah, heck. I really didn't think this through, did I?
Oh, my! Look at all that wonderful new scenery! Well done! Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, by raising this park's scenery rating, I think you might have... Yes, you have! You've raised the overall park rating! And that means more guests will be drawn to the park. Heavens, what an important number, eh? Right, I think it's time we took a look at the park rating breakdown. It's a great way to track how your park is improving. That's it! In here, you can see how your overall ride and scenery ratings and guest happiness are all critical to improving your park rating. And remember, the better your park, the more guests who will come and visit. So, let's get that scenery rating even higher, eh? Make the whole park look as wonderful as those rides you spruced up. Go on, get decorating!
Hello again. I just noticed that you were using the scenery blueprints to decorate the park. I actually built those blueprints myself, so I'm very happy that you're using them. You can actually find the individual scenery elements, the ones I used to build those blueprints, by looking under the Create browser, if you want to. But, as I mentioned, I did go to the trouble of painstakingly handcrafting literally hundreds of them for you, so, you know.
Goodness! Your transformation of the park has really bumped the park rating up a good few notches, my friend. And look at all the guests, happily smiling away. And you know what they say about happy guests?
They like spending money.
Is everything about cold, hard cash with you, Cynthia?
No, I also like stocks and shares.
Anyway, guests have other needs which can affect their happiness. So, let's take a look at some of them.
Yes, let's. Scoot. Right. If you want to find out what us guests need, one way is by looking at the guest screen in Park Management. Go on, open it.
Dov'è la mano? Già non si scilla e compra.
This is where you can see what the average guest needs are in the park, as well as the most common thoughts that the guests are having. You know, it's weird. I really should think of this thing as a massive invasion of privacy, but I'm kind of okay with it. Yeesh. It looks like a lot of the guest thoughts are about how the park is missing important facilities. Okay, first up, food. According to the guest data, we're hungry. I was wondering what that empty feeling in my stomach was. So go on. Build a food shop for us. That's the food sorted, but a bunch of us guests are also really thirsty. So you should definitely build some drinks shops.
A word of advice. Put your shop somewhere busy so we get the best return on our investment. Sorry, I mean best serve our guests' needs, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. Real convincing.
Shop vendors don't work for free. We have to turn a profit.
About time. My blood sugar was almost down to a healthy level. If you want to make sure that you've got all our needs licked, you can look at the guest needs screen again. Personally, I am absolutely stuffed with both food and drink, so I'm good.
Now, without meaning to be indelicate, all that food and drink means we have another pressing guest need to attend to.
Yeah, like really pressing?
Quickly! Build a toilet for the guests.
What? A whole toilet? You're spoiling us, Mr. Thompson. You know, toilets are great, but it'd be nice if us guests had somewhere else to sit down, too.
Oh, yes. Go on. Pop down some benches next to the paths. You see, guests are a lot like cellular phones. Every so often they need to recharge their batteries, so you should plug them in and... No, that's not right. Now that your guests can fulfill their needs in the park, they're less likely to become unhappy, which is great. But as more guests come here, you'll need even more facilities to deal with their needs.
More than one toilet? No!
Eh? It's quite a lot to think about, isn't it? Plus, the park's getting a bit more complex, and we might start to see problems popping up. I think we should look at hiring some staff to keep everything running smoothly.
Speaking of problems, can you do something about all the litter? It's piling up and really bumming us guests out. Maybe you could hire some janitors to keep on top of it. Thanks for that. Of course, litter wouldn't be such a problem if Mr. Thompson had remembered to put some bins in the park.
That was deliberate, so we could all have a learning moment. So yes, if you would please put some bins down, your new janitors will make sure they're kept empty.
Oh, yeah. Good save.
Oh no! Goodness me! One of the rides is broken down! How could this happen in one of my parks?
Oh, it's all right. Everyone on the ride and in the queue is getting a refund.
Refunds? Quick, hire a mechanic. We need to fix that ride and get money flowing in the right direction again. Oh, and make the guests happy, etc.
Ah, good. I'm sure our new mechanic will have that ride fixed in no time at all.
Not without breaking the space-time continuum, they won't.
Ah, bum, bum, bum. Yep. Da.
You might want to consider speeding up time for a while.
Blah. Whoop.
Well, now that our emergency has been dealt with, the mechanic can spend their time inspecting the rides and reducing the chance of another breakdown. Now, I think it's high time you built a staff room for our staff so that they can have a bit of a break.
I mean, do they really need to?
Yes, you see, staff are a lot like cellular phones. No, wait, I've tried that one before. Anyway, just like guests, staff members get tired as well. And if they get too tired, they simply won't be able to work. Staff rooms are where they get their energy back. And now that we have a staff room, the vendors in our shops will be taking breaks too. So, you should hire some extra vendors to fill in for them. Gosh, you've got so many people working for you that there might not be enough space in the staff room anymore. You'd better increase the staff room's capacity just in case. Look at you! Oh, you're a born manager. Congratulations. Pretty soon, you'll be hiring entertainers to lift the spirits of your guests and hiring security guards to deal with pickpockets and ne'er-do-wells. And, well, partly to stop Lucy constantly cutting in line. You can worry about all of that in your own time, though.